So friends, we continue to keep an eye on the news and events on the Ukraine-Russia front. And today it has become known that Poland has deployed troops to its border with Belarus. This didn't happen without reason. It has been revealed that yesterday two Belarusian helicopters crossed Poland's airspace. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has called on Belarus to immediately and thoroughly explain the incident, which, according to the MFA, was a part of escalating tensions along the border between the two countries. The statement reads that Poland expects Belarus to refrain from such activity, and additionally the Ministry of Defense stated that they have informed NATO about this incident. Belarus Minister of Defense has denied any violation of airspace by Mi-24 and Mi-8 helicopters. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has commented on this incident. Pentagon spokesperson Patrick Ryder emphasized that the United States remains steadfast in protecting the security of NATO countries. While he declined to provide detailed information about the incident, Ryder added that NATO's position haven't changed in the aftermath. However, the US doesn't see the Wagner Group as a threat to NATO. Currently, there is no immediate threat to NATO from Wagner Group fighters, and the Wagners who remain in Ukraine likely have limited influence on the fighting, shared John Kirby, the coordinator for strategic communications at the US National Security Council, during a press briefing. And responding to media questions on Tuesday, Kirby stated that based on available information, a certain portion of Wagner Group fighters have relocated to Africa, seeking to increase instability there, while some remain in Ukraine and another group has moved to Belarus. And now let's move on to the frontline update. But before we begin, I kindly ask you to give me a like, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest news. And let's begin with the Avdiivka direction. As we can see, there have been changes in the front line here, but it's important not to jump to conclusion too quickly, because according to Deep State, routine front line adjustments are being carried out in the Avdiivka area. And despite the fact that the Russians are no longer able to advance in this direction, the Ukrainian armed forces have decided to eliminate their positions around Yasinuvata as well, and local sources have showcased the operation of aviation in this direction. And currently the occupiers continue artillery shelling in the Avdiivka area, and no offensive actions are being conducted. And further south, the battles are ongoing for the outskirts of Marinka and the village of Pobeda. Additionally, reports indicate that the Ukrainian armed forces are making progress in the Nevelsky area and have managed to slightly shift the front line. In the Bakhmut direction, there is currently an exchange of artillery fire taking place. There are no active offensive actions along the front line, and as of now, Klishchiivka remains under Russian control. Full liberation of the village from the occupiers hasn't been achieved. They continue to deploy reserves to prevent the Ukrainian armed forces from establishing a foothold. In the Svatove area, the Russian activity has once again escalated, and after a lull, they are actively assaulting Ukrainian positions near Novoselivsk and Berestove. Over the past 24 hours, there have been no changes along the front line, indicating that the Ukrainian armed forces are successfully holding off all attacks. However, the battles are ongoing. And in the Dvorichna area, the occupiers continue their artillery bombardment of the frontline territory and are targeting strikes towards Kupiansk. So today, Kupiansk is the main focal point in this direction. However, Russia hasn't launched new offensives yet and is gradually consolidating its forces for a potential advance. In the Kreminna and Siversk area, the situation has stabilized. The Ukrainian armed forces have successfully repelled all attacks and the front line remains unchanged. However, this challenge that was ongoing earlier continues. And in the Vuhledar direction, there is ongoing fighting for Staromayorsk. The Ukrainian armed forces still maintain control over the settlement. However, Russia poses a definite threat in this direction and it's likely to make attempts to regain control of the area. Additionally, there are reports of success for the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Novomykhailivka. Ukrainian units have managed to reclaim a territory of nearly 2.5 kilometers in this area. And in the Zaporizhzhia direction, the Ukrainian armed forces are also refraining from conducting offensive operations for now. However, there is active engagement in destroying occupant positions within the near-front zone to facilitate future advancement. And in response, the Russian forces are conducting artillery shelling, reconnaissance efforts, and attempting to thwart any potential upcoming waves of attacks. In the Kherson direction, along the front line, the situation remains stable, while the occupant forces continue their shelling activities. And yesterday, significant explosions were reported in occupied Crimea. Online sources indicated that missile strikes occurred near the city of Balaklava, where one of the major bases of the Russian Federation naval fleet is located. And notably, the most serious explosion happened in the vicinity of the town of Gvardeyskaya. It is reported that a column of smoke rose after the explosions. Interestingly, this area is home to an aviation base of the same name used by the 37th Aviation Regiment of the Russian Federation. And meanwhile, the occupant forces have closed their Crimean bridge, though they haven't provided a reason for this action, and the occupying authorities have yet to make a statement regarding the situation. And in the case of our hero from yesterday's episode, followers have emerged and today they renewed an attempt to set fire to the military enlistment office in St. Petersburg. On the footage, an unidentified girl can be seen approaching the entrance to the military commissariat building on English Avenue, placing a package near the doors and igniting. Afterward, the girl left the scene of the crime and currently police officers are searching for her. Also, photos depicting the aftermath of a nighttime attack on the port and industrial infrastructure of Odessa have become available on the internet. As a result of drone attacks in Odessa, fires were recorded at industrial and port facilities and an elevator was damaged. A drone attack was also reported in Kiev. Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, stated that as a result of the hostile attack on the capital and the fallen debris of unmanned aerial vehicles in the Solomyansky district, a non-residential building was damaged. The Kiev City Military Administration reported that during the drone attacks and their interception, debris fell onto a children's playground, unfortunately without causing any injuries. And in total, 23 Shahed-type unmanned aerial vehicles were shot down over the past night. And the final news for today. Erdogan has reached an agreement for a meeting with Putin in Turkey, as reported by the presidential office. The Turkish leader's office stated that this was discussed during today's phone conversation with the president of Russia. The two sides discussed the grain deal, and Erdogan emphasized that Turkey will continue to make intensive efforts to advance the Black Sea Initiative. Although Turkey is not a signatory of the Rome Statute, we sincerely hope that the Russian madman will be delivered straight to The Hague. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.